Good morning. Normally I work out to like podcasts, business podcasts, or there's another guy I listen to that is like a counselor and stuff like that, and he has a bunch of good topics. But this morning I didn't play anything just because I wanted to be like mindful of my thoughts. And I was just thinking about my start to like understanding nutrition and everything, and I figured I would share that story just because it's been a long journey. I was a kid that grew up with severe digestive issues. Severe constipation. I think I would poop once a week. I remember my mom saying she was always had issues with me, like not having, bowel movements as a baby. So it started really young. And then I just remember like eating cereal and needing to lay down afterwards. At this point, it was probably just the combination of the gluten and, gosh, even the sugar and the dairy. We grew up drinking more like whole milk and stuff, but not that that matters. But anyways, and I used to love like Frosted Mini Wheats. That was like one of my favorite cereals. So, which is wheat. And so anyways, and then some of the other foods we would eat, I remember as a kid growing up, is a lot of Top Ramen, Hamburger Helper, McDonald's was way cheap back then. So, the parents would always get the Happy Meals, corn dogs, just pretty much everything processed and easy is what I grew up eating. And so I just always had severe digestive issues as a kid. I remember my mom a couple times trying to figure out what was going on with me. I remember one time getting like a fecal sample, which I had no idea what was going to happen. I was in my probably early teens. And that was super embarrassing to get a physical fecal sample. Like I didn't provide it. A doctor went in and got it. So that was like, and it was a male doctor. So that was like even more embarrassing, And I don't even know if anything came back pointing in any direction for that. I don't even know what they were looking for at that point, but I remember doing that. And then I remember when I was 17, it had gone from like severe constipation my whole life, where I would have like a bowel movement once a week. I would always just feel sick and have migraines and stuff like that. And when I was about 17, I go in by myself, and the doctor was all like, well, yeah, you have blue eyes. Blue-eyed people are more sensitive to the light and stuff. So just take aspirin. And then it sounds like you have irritable bowel syndrome, because at that point I went from severe constipation to I would eat the wrong thing. And I would just like, my stomach would just start just cramping and being sick. And then I would have like diarrhea. So, and I just never knew when that was going to be set off. So that was like super embarrassing. And so he said IBS, and I like lit up because I was like, oh my gosh, you found like a name for it, like a diagnosis, right? And I was like, so how do I like fix it? And he's like, well, you don't. He's like, here's a list of trigger foods, and you just want to learn what your trigger foods are and avoid them. And I remember walking out of there like so discouraged, and I was like, that is the last time I will see a doctor. And I did grow up, my mom was kind of like an herbalist too, so I remember her giving me, we drank tea, and she would give me supplements randomly and stuff. So I think that I kind of had a slightly holistic background, which is so funny because we're eating all these processed foods and then she's giving me vitamins, like whatever. She didn't know. And so I think I was 22 when a friend introduced me to a nutrition company, and that changed my life. And I am so thankful for that, because I got on like the cleanse phase. It was like a 10-day cleanse, which was pretty simple. It was probiotics, fiber drinks, and then some cleansing pills at night that had like senna in it. And I, at that time around, because I think I was 22, I was a size 10 on about a 5-foot body, pushing a size 12. Never had kids, anything like that. And I actually remember thinking like I was so scared to have babies, because I see a lot of people get bigger after having babies. And I have such a little body, right? And so everything shows. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I get on the products. I'm not working out at this point, and I go from a size 10 to a size 5 in literally 8 weeks. I'm pretty sure I pooped like my weight off, because I was having bowel movements like 2 to 3 times a day, which is actually what you should be doing. When food goes in, it should be coming out. So if it's not coming out, it's sitting there toxic. And I believe that's what was giving me all the headaches, because I literally was toxic for decades, right? So anyways, I did not go a day without probiotics. And to this day, recently I started to see like how my body would respond without probiotics. But I was with that company for 15 years and really didn't even miss a day. That if somebody asked me if there was one product I could keep, it would be that. I mean, probiotics changed my life. No more irritable bowel syndrome, anything like that. Over time, with having thyroid issues, I changed my diet and went like gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and all of that. But anyways, so that's kind of my spiel about kind of gut health. But a lot of people will have like skin issues and things like that, like eczemas and Crohn's, things like that. And if you're not taking a probiotic or never tried a probiotic, I highly recommend trying one. Not one that just has one strain like Acidophilus. You want something with like multi-strains. You could do live. The problem with live probiotics is that depending on how they are transported, you may not always get a live product at that point, because if it doesn't keep under that perfect temperature. And to be honest, nowadays, like, store employees probably could care less. And so, you know what I mean? It could be in a hot truck somewhere and you think it's live and you're paying extra for a live probiotic and it's not live. The stuff that I was on was, I mean, it was just a shelf probiotic. It wasn't a big deal. There was one that I did use for a short time. My dentist had got me on before I got some of my metal fillings taken out. He wanted me to do it, and that was off of Amazon. And I remember, I don't know if it came refrigerated, but for whatever reason I ended up refrigerating it. So I don't know if that one was a live one. But anyways, experiment around with probiotics. I highly recommend it if you have kids that are having digestive issues. I mean, your gut is your second brain. And so if stuff's going on in your gut, or you have kids with like severe ADD or vaccine damage, things like, I mean, like, everything nowadays with all the chemicals that we're exposed to, like, gut health is super important. Fiber is super important and stuff. You can always find extra fiber drinks if you have a family that doesn't eat a lot of fiber. But anyways, yeah, life-changing. I mean, most people that have irritable bowel syndrome, they think that they are just like lifers with something like that, and it's not fun. It's super embarrassing. So anyways, that has been my journey with nutrition, and I'm so thankful I know what I know now. It's been a hard journey with my thyroid issues, of like that kind of having issues with my thyroid and stuff, and then having the MTHFR mutation, which doesn't allow you to detox like at a normal rate. So now I'm working with my naturopath to be able to actually do a better detox. I'm going on a 30-day detox here soon, because just having babies back to back and nursing and stuff like that, I was never really able to do a good detox. And so I'm excited to kind of do that a little bit more, just to speed up my metabolism and just boost my body's health and stuff like that. But if you have any questions, you can always message me and I could tell you what I was using or help you steer you in the right direction. But anyways, thanks for listening.